Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 9.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Tries for Rice, intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
Yellow. I got you.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second and 12, Mahomes toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Had to pass there, third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. It's Rice. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27. On first down, Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
To throw again on second down. Mahomes looking middle, and it's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On third down, Barkley, and he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Tucker's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Mahomes to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. They go play fake. Mahomes. This is caught. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jerry Rice, 33 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone? And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10. Mahomes now on 1st down. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. From the 38, Mahomes.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Reggie White in there to bury him for a loss of 11. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Mahomes. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, Ray, seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Rice. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jerry Rice. As the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
From the 27, Mahomes. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Line! Watch the run! Watch the run!
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The corner, Stephon Gilmore, on the stop.
You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
First down, Chargers.
Yellow. Arms go wide. Cut. Hey, Fenty.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. That one complete to Elliott. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, third down here.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. That's going to set him back 5 yards. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. So that'll back them up 5. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for L.A. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Lie down these two. Lie down these two. Argolani!
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Hey, 4 down.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. This is caught inside the 15. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Mahomes again. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go. The Chargers take over 1st and 10. At their own 28-yard line.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Hey, 180! Quarterback, don't get nervous now. Hurry, hurry! Don't get...
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, they snap it to Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Holt. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. A 1st down throw for Mayfield. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Amari Cooper, 29 yards. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Dawson tacks on the point after. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Now Mayfield. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Mahomes firing complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
11 more on that one and another first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, it's Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it won't be easy.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So that's one you almost never see at this level. A wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I can understand it, but it's almost like you heard a whistle or something to stop this swing. A very strange result, especially for an NFL kicker.
Mayfield on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Holt. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not